John Marston Jr., better known as Jack, was born in 1895 as the first child of outlaw John Marston and his wife Abigail, two members of the Vanderlyn gang. He would also have a younger sister, but she would die at some point after 1906. As the child of John and Abigail, Jack spent time with other members of the gang, including Bill Williamson, Javier Escuela, Uncle, and even Dutch Vanderlyn, seeing them all as surrogate uncles of sorts. In 1906, John was badly injured during a bank robbery and left to die by his former brothers-in-arms, and left the gang with Jack and Abigail. By 1908, the Marston family owned a farm in Beecher's Hope, while John hired Uncle as manpower. The family also brought a dog called Rufus, to which Jack took a liking to. In 1911, Jack and Abigail were taken hostage by Edgar Ross and Archer Fordham, two senior agents of the Bureau of Investigation, using them as leverage against John so he would hunt down Bill, Javier, and Dutch. While not physically present during the first three-fourths of Red Dead Redemption, Jack is sporadically mentioned by his father during conversations with many of the allies and enemies, including Lee Johnson, Javier Escuela, and Dutch Vanderlyn. Jack first appears reuniting with his father after John finished his business with the Bureau of Investigation and is allowed to return back to the Marston Ranch. In a close hug, he apologizes to John for failing to maintain the ranch.
How's the boy?
Oh, like you, and like me. Well, he's like a kid growing up without a father.
That ain't fair.
What is fair?
Well, some trees flourish, others die. Some cattle grow strong, others are taken by wolves. Some men are born rich enough and dumb enough to enjoy their lives. Ain't nothing fair, you know that.
We tried to change. I mean, isn't that what you're supposed to do?
We did change. And it's over now. Jack! Jack, come here, boy.
Hello, sir.
Come here. How you been?
Coyotes ate all the chickens and poachers took the cattle. I tried, Father. I tried.
I know you did, son. I know.
And don't you go blaming me, boy. Don't you go blaming me.
I ain't blaming no one, old man, but since you're still alive, there's 4 mouths to feed. And no cattle.
That's a nice way to greet somebody. Why don't I get the warm and tender embrace?
Consider the fact I ain't put a bullet in your embrace, old man. You were supposed to look after the place.
I did. Well, I did my best. Thing is, there was too many of them. I thought you was dead. I wasn't drinking.
Hold your excuses until you figured out which one to use. Jack, go get your bags packed, boy. We got work to do. We leave in the morning. Go on.
Yes, sir.
Where are you going?
Well, it's getting kind of dark now, but in the morning we've got to go get ourselves some more cattle. I've got friends at McFarland's ranch. It's over in Hennigan's stead who can sell us some. Now, Abigail, I hope you learned to cook.
Yes. Didn't I say, rather than some prison, they actually kept me incarcerated in a cooking school for young ladies.
The next day, Jack and his father visit McFarland's ranch, owned by John's friends Drew and Bonnie McFarland, to purchase cattle from them.
John Marston! Now, there's a face I thought I'd never see again. Some of our public servants in Blackwater sent you back on another homicidal errand to protect and save us from Lord only knows what.
Thankfully not, sir. I was hoping you might still be able to sell me some cattle.
My boy, it would be a pleasure. Bonnie's out to corral now. She'll be more than happy to help you.
Take care now, Mr. McFarland. Good luck.
Good Lord, do my eyes deceive me? A devil walks among us.
I said I'd be back when this was all over, Miss McFarland. After the barn fire, you remember?
Of course I remember. I just didn't believe a word of it. So, you've come for some cattle?
Yeah, I'm finally starting up my farm again. Or trying to, at least.
You'll be fine. You've been taught well. Come on, then.
Did a good job, son. Nice shooting.
Thanks, Pa.
Make a rancher of you yet.
Sometime after helping both Abigail and Uncle, John takes time with teaching Jack hunting and skinning. The two go on a hunting trip with Rufus and take down a pair of elks.
What's the book, boy?
Nothing, sir.
What's it about?
Well, it's an adventure, sir. Set out in the West, and it tells this amazing story of how people killed the savage Redskins, and how this brave man, hunts the man who killed his father.
I'm glad you're enjoying it. Talking of adventure, how'd you like to learn to track elk? Really big ones in the valley this time of year. We could use the meat.
Well,
I know you'd rather read your adventures. Trust me, this can be very enjoyable in its own way. I suppose maybe it's a little less dramatic. So, let's go, come on. You may get to see me get gored by some massive wild beast. Then you can write a story about that.
Very funny, Paul. I've forgotten how funny you was.
Grab your things.
Afterward, John takes Jack to Manzanita Post to teach him about selling meat.
Now come on. Let's get this meat over to the trading post at Manzanita.
There you go. That was so much fun. I can't rightly believe it. Just like in the books.
We'll do it again soon. Now get to your chores.
Wishing to prove himself to his father, Jack decides to head up to tall trees and hunt down a grizzly bear by himself despite John's warnings.
John! John!
What is it, old man?
It's Jack. The kid. Well, I just saw him out in the valley. Seems your tales of hunting got the better of him. He said he was going up to the pass, track down that grizzly that's been seen up there.
Kid can't hunt a grizzly. Thing will eat him alive.
I know. I tried to stop him.
But you're worthless as a lawyer at a lynching. Damn you, old man. This is my son. Anything happens to him, you'll wish it was you that bear attacked.
At Nakoti Rock, Jack is badly injured by a bear and his mount is killed in the process. John arrives with Rufus and kills the bear before taking Jack back to the ranch.
Paul, help me! I'm hurt!
Jack, stay down! Don't move! Keep your head down! What the hell were you thinking going off on your own? You're just a boy.
No, I'm not! I can skin an elk, break horses.
Come on, let's get you home. Now hold tight. Are you all right?
Yeah, I think so.
You're lucky to be alive, you stupid boy. What'd I tell you about going off by yourself?
I go off by myself plenty. You just don't know about it. You're never around.
So this is my fault? You disobeyed me.
I was trying to prove myself.
Prove what? By getting yourself killed?
You're always telling me I read too many books, that I'm not a real man.
I never said that.
I just thought if I could do something you'd like, maybe you wouldn't go away again.
Son, I ain't going anywhere. And believe me, neither are you for a real long time.
During their ride back home, John expresses disappointment in his son's actions, while Jack argued at his father's sparse involvement in his life.
You think I don't know what you did back in the old days? I'm not stupid.
You could have fooled me.
You think I didn't sit up and listen to Dutch and Bill telling all those stories? You think I don't know who you are?
It ain't no secret I didn't get these scars falling over in church.
But nobody tells me anything. You and Ma pretend like nothing happened.
We just want a better life for you, son. Now rest. We'll have you home soon.
I'm sorry I made you worry, Pa.
Don't be too eager to grow up, son. Ain't as much fun as it looks. When you're ready to hunt bears, I'll take you.
Sometime after the grizzly hunt incident, Jack is found by his father at the barn, where John praises his son for his skill with work tools.
You know, you're real good with them tools.
Thank you, Pa.
You'll make this land real nice one day. Me and your mother will do our part. By the time your turn comes, hell, this could be the nicest farm in the county.
Maybe, Pa.
Just gotta learn to shoot straight or you'll get yourself eaten by some animal.
Very funny, Pa.
Thank you, son. Soon it'll be quail season. We should have some fun then.
Is there anything you don't like shooting, Pa?
Well, I ain't met the thing yet, but as soon as I do, I'll let you know. You can even put it in one of them books you read.
Maybe I'll do that. The day John Marston stopped shooting.
Now, I ain't no literary man, but I don't think that'll sell. People like shooting in them things.
I think you may be right there, Pa.
So, you ever hear talk about them machines that can make a man fly?
Well, sure, Pa. Everybody knows about that. You know they're gonna be bringing one of those machines around the country next year for a demonstration? One of them machines can turn men into angels.
One of them machines can turn men into angels.
John, come here. John, come here, quick. Take a look at that.
Jack, go into the house, lock all the doors. Whatever happens, don't come outside. You hear me? Whatever happens.
Okay.
Come here, son. Whatever happens, keep the doors locked and your mother inside. Promise me, son. Promise me.
Who is it, Pa?
It's just some old friends. Me and Uncle take care of it. Now you go inside and you keep the doors and the windows locked.
I hear you.
Then run!
Yeah, run, boy.
Well, old man, looks like things is about to get settled once and for all.
So it seems.
The tender moment between the two is cut short by a wide-scale attack by the American soldiers and agents, led by Edgar Ross. Jack is ordered to stay in the Marston house with his mother while John and Uncle fight off the invaders. After one wave of attackers, Jack joins his father and uncle in the fight, but Uncle quickly dies of a fatal bullet, much to Jack's dismay.
Hang in there, Uncle! I'm gonna get you out of here safe!
Ain't time, John. I ain't gonna make it off this porch anyhow. You take Jack and Abby. Take them and don't worry about me. Just get him out of here.
No! Uncle, please! Oh my God! They killed him!
Come on, son! Ain't nothing we can do for him now! We're leaving the farm. I'll watch from the silo. You two go to the barn. Get the horses ready.
John!
I'll meet you there.
Jack and John fight more waves as soldiers before running off to the barn with Abigail. At the barn, Jack and Abigail are ordered by John to get on a horse and ride off as far as they can, promising to join them after dealing with the attackers.
Hey, come on. Now listen. Jack, Darling, get on this horse. Get out of here. Go find a place to hide.
You're coming with us, Paul.
I'll catch up. You keep riding and don't look back. And don't be worried about me, you hear? Now get going.
You stay out of trouble, John.
Ain't no trouble, Abigail. Ain't no trouble. I love you.
I love you.
Now go! Get!
Did you hear that? Jack, we have to go back for Pa.
Let's go!
When Abigail hears gunshots from the ranch, she tells Jack to ride back to Beecher's Hope. The two find a recently deceased John in a pool of blood, and Jack comforts his mourning mother. Jack and Abigail then proceed to bury both John and Uncle on a hill overlooking the ranch. In 1914, 3 years after John and Uncle's deaths, Abigail dies, and Jack proceeds to bury her. Now 19 years old and a spitting image of his father with similar skill in combat, Jack decides to hunt down his father's killer. In Blackwater, Jack approaches an agent called Howard Sawicki. Jack learns Ross was awarded for killing John, and is now living his days out in a cabin on Lake Don Julio with his wife.
Hello, sir. You work with the government? You one of them agents?
Sure, son. Why you ask?
Did you work with a man named Edgar Ross? I have something for him.
Edgar Ross? No, but well knew of him. A fine man if he wanted results. Won himself a chest full of medals. I think he went and retired about a year ago. Last I heard, him and his wife moved out to a cabin on Lake Don Julio. Lucky guy, getting to take it easy. He's fighting crime in this dump, that's for sure.
Well, thank you for the information, mister.
Visiting Don Julio, Jack meets Edgar's wife Emily, who greets him with a rant about how the government doesn't let Ross retire in peace, before apologizing and directing him towards the camp of Edgar and his brother Philip, close to the San Luis River.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Hello, young man.
Hi.
What are you doing out here? Are you out visiting the lake with your family?
No, ma'am. I was looking to deliver a letter to Edgar Ross.
Oh, that husband of mine. That bureau just won't get its talons out of him, even though he's retired. Edgar gave them some of the best years of his life. They ought to let him retire in peace. They'll not rest till they've killed him with worry, and he's such a sensitive man. I'm sorry, I shouldn't get so angry. I don't suppose any of this is your fault. There's no need to worry about him nowadays.
Well, where is he?
He and his brother Philip went hunting on the south side of the San Luis River. Be careful crossing over. They were saying it was dangerous.
I sure will, ma'am. And don't worry about a thing. I'm sure your husband will be just fine.
Meeting Philip, Jack finally locates Ross down the river hunting ducks.
Hey there, mister. How's the hunting?
Oh, pretty good, son. Got me a few rabbits, coyote, elk. Still looking for some trophies for the parlor.
I've got a letter here for Edgar Ross. You know him? I heard he was down in these parts from his wife.
Of course I know him. He's my brother. Gone down river, duck hunt. Must be a pretty important letter to have come all this way.
Oh, yes, sir. Real important. I'll be on my way home as soon as I deliver this message.
You best be off then. Just don't get on his bad side. He's got a filthy temper.
Jack confronts the retired agent in his part in John's death, but Ross simply dismisses his actions as John's own fault.
Excuse me. You Edgar Ross?
Do I know you?
Forgive me for startling you, sir. I have a message for you. My name is Jack Marston. You knew my father.
I see. I remember your father.
I've come for you, Ross.
And you, boy, have sure as shit found me.
You killed my father.
Your father killed himself with the life he lived.
You killed him. I saw you.
You keep saying that.
You sent him to do your dirty work. Then you shot him like a dog.
And I'll shoot you like one too, you little piece of trash. Now get out of here before I kill you as well!
I ain't going nowhere, old man.
Unfazed by Ross's threats to kill him, Jack challenges the older man to a final duel. In a single moment, Jack guns down Ross and avenges his family's misfortune once and for all. With Ross's death, Jack looks at his gun somberly, realizing he's close to becoming an outlaw, the very same life his father tried to have him avoid. Jack holsters his sidearm and walks away from the scene. In the events of Undead Nightmare, Jack appears as a supporting character. He is first shown sitting with his mother at the Marston residence, reading a book while discussing swearing with Abigail.
Oh, damn.
Mother.
Oh, I'm sorry. I meant to say, damn this awful son I've raised with his highfalutin ways, and his shame that his mother swears like a sailor and sews like a blind man. Is that better, your lordship?
Much better, Mother dearest.
Oh, good. I'm so glad, my darling. When you've finished your university education and are far too good to even acknowledge my existence when we pass on the street, and you gently kick me aside and begging old crow out of the way with your highly polished boot. Well, think of me kindly, at least, will you, my son?
I'll try to, Mother. I'll think, that woman I just kicked, that used to be my dear old potty-mouthed mom. Maybe I should bother to kick her harder.
Dear boy. Oh, I am so proud of you. Get off. Now, Father's here. Maybe he can beat some sense into you.
Something funny's going on out there. Damn dogs gone crazy, and wolves howling, and birds flying.
Well, it's just the storm, John.
Maybe. Uncle make it back yet?
I thought he was with you, off drinking in the fields. I mean working, as you call it now.
He went into town a few hours ago after we busted that hammer working out in the meadow.
Well, he's probably holed up in some place of ill repute waiting for the passing of the storm.
I hope so.
Well, that old man could take care of himself.
I know. Just a funny feeling I got.
You gone psychic, Paul?
Either that or I ate something funny. Knowing your mother's cooking seems more than likely.
Well, talking about food, who's ready for some poisoning?
Me, my darling. I am starving. What you reading?
Just some book about monsters.
Tell me about it.
It's kind of dumb.
That should suit me just fine.
Well, it's all about, in ancient times, how Aztec warriors worship the sun. But during full moons, some of them worship the moon instead. And upset the equilibrium of things. So anyway, what it involves is, there's this one guy, and he goes out in search of his family. Leaves him all alone. So anyways, since there ain't no cure, the brave man has to kill everybody, which is
Absolutely disgusting. and completely unbelievable. It's getting late. Guess we're not gonna see Uncle till morning.
Come on then, Abigail. Jack, get yourself to bed, boy. Try to get some sleep.
Ain't you worried about Uncle?
Sure, but he'll have to wait till morning just like any other man would in his shoes. Night, son. Don't stay up reading too late.
Later that night, the Marston family are attacked by an undead uncle who manages to bite and infect Abigail before being finished off by John.
I can't believe I had to kill that poor bastard. Well... You okay, darling? You okay?
Oh.
Abigail. Abigail.
I don't feel so great.
Jack! Get out here! Now!
Good Lord, what's happened? Mama?
Careful, boy.
Mama. Mama!
Stay right there, the pair of you. Don't make me no widower now.
A worried Jack rushes to help his mother, but is quickly infected as well. Abigail and Jack are then brought to John and Abigail's bedroom, where John leaves them with some food before leaving to find a cure for both.
Now, I don't know what the hell's gotten into you sick, crazy bastards or what I've done to you, but I'm going to get help. Stay calm. As calm as you can, seeing as both of you seem to have gotten a little excited. Probably just a fever. Jack, be kind to your mother. Abigail, teach the boy right from wrong. Both of you. Stop biting chunks out of people. Be back as soon as I can.
Jack is not seen again until the final mission, where he and Abigail are found by John to have returned to normal.
John? There you are. Hell, whenever trouble starts, I can pretty much guarantee you'll ride off into the sunset.
You feeling better?
Yes. I mean, once that boy stopped trying to bite me, everything felt much better. I'm starving, though.
Jack?
Me? Well, I only felt better once that mad look left your eye. Please, Dad, don't leave me here alone with that woman again.
Excuse me?
I'll try not to, son.
I've heard that before.
Well, let me fix us something to eat.
Please don't. We've had enough dramatics for one day.
This has been everything we know about the character of Jack Marston in Red Dead Redemption and the Undead Nightmare. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.